This is your AESH Weekly News Minute for Tuesday, March 14, 2023. Energy News. China's energy transition sees staggering progress on renewables and a coal power boom. China is making rapid progress in scaling up clean energy, tentatively boosting hopes that the world's largest carbon emitter could soon start to curb greenhouse gas pollution. A massive wave of permits for new coal-fired capacity poses a significant challenge to the country's climate goals, with Beijing seen as the glaring exception to the ongoing global decline in coal plant development, according to the Global Energy Monitor. Beijing authorized 106 gigawatts of new coal power capacity in 2022, 4 times higher than a year earlier, and the equivalent of 100 large-fired power plants, the research said. The extraordinary speed at which China approved the projects was thought to have been driven by energy security considerations, namely electricity shortages, following a historic drought and heat wave last summer. The major additions of new coal-fired capacity may not necessarily mean that carbon emissions from the power sector will increase in China, Korean GEM analysts said, particularly given the country's rapid progress in scaling up clean energy. Logistics and transportation news. CEVA Logistics, NG and SANAF, have announced the launch of the European Clean Transport Network Alliance (ECTN Alliance), which envisions building and operating a network of truck terminals with low-carbon energy solutions to transport merchandise along Europe's motorways. In a press release accompanying the announcement, the parties said that the disruptive system will be tailored to electric trucks' limited range and charging requirements. Long-term, the terminal network will be open to all shippers and carriers, offering simple access to low-carbon biogas, hydrogen and electric energy solutions for charging and refueling trucks. Strategically placed on European motorways, the network will include a specific solution to enable transport companies to plan their routes and charging schedules in the fastest and most carbon-efficient way, say the 3 entities. Technology news. The Ariya was going to drive Nissan's comeback charge in electric vehicles, but it turns out problems have hit its expensive high-tech production line and slowed delivery of the car. That's according to 4 sources close to the matter. The Ariya was unveiled 3 years ago to strong reviews and was Nissan's first all-new global car in 5 years. But the sources say production is running at least a third below plan. That has kept the Ariya from being shipped to new customers. 2 sources said production faced problems with the highly automated intelligent factory manufacturing system at one of its plants in Japan. The intelligent factory Ariya line was built with an initial investment of $243 million. The system is supposed to allow Nissan to produce cars with different powertrains on the same line. Finance news. British clearing bank the Bank of London is considering a rescue bid for the UK arm of collapsed US bank Silicon Valley Bank, Sky News reported on Saturday. The British bank has appointed investment bank Perella Weinberg Partners to advise it on its interest in Silicon Valley Bank UK Limited, SVB UK, the report said, citing a source familiar with the matter. The Bank of London and SVB did not immediately respond to a Reuters' request for comment. The news of the British bank's bid interest comes a day after the Bank of England said it was seeking a court order to place SVB UK into an insolvency procedure after US regulators took over its parent company SVB Financial Group earlier on Friday. The rout in SVB's stock, which began on Thursday, has spilled over into other US and European banks. US banks have lost over $100 billion in stock market value, and European banks have shed another $50 billion in value over the past 2 days, according to a Reuters calculation. Global news headlines. China role in Saudi-Iran deal a tricky test for US. The surprise deal between Iran and Saudi Arabia to restore diplomatic ties offers much for the US to be intrigued about, including a possible path to rein in Tehran's nuclear program and a chance to cement a ceasefire in Yemen. It also contains an element sure to make officials in Washington deeply uneasy: the role of China as peace broker in a region where the United States has long wielded influence. The deal was announced after 4 days of previously undisclosed talks in Beijing between the Middle East rivals. White House spokesman John Kirby said on Friday that while Washington is not directly involved, Saudi Arabia kept U.S. officials informed of the talks with Iran. Relations between the US and China have become highly contentious over issues ranging from trade to espionage, and the 2 powers increasingly compete for influence in parts of the world far from their own borders. This has been your AESH Weekly News Minute for Tuesday, March 14, 2023. If you want more global energy news and real-time alerts, hit the subscribe button now and follow us on social media.